welcome to Look Around the Confederation. I'm your host for the evening, Moose. Before we get started, please remember the views and opinions expressed in this broadcast are not necessarily the views and opinions of the SCV, its GEC, nor any divisions, brigade, camps, or any other subsidiaries. How is everybody doing in Dixieland tonight? We are still on the move and ciphering Wi-Fi from other people. So this will hopefully be the last episode for that. I'm trying to see if I can get the sun out of here, but we are having zero luck. I hope you're enjoying the car edition because this is the last time we're doing it. Dr. Mitchum, I believe I owe you a phone call, sir. I will call you. I'll be on the road all tomorrow. I'm going to a cemetery cleanup. So I don't know how good my service will be, but I'll talk to you on the phone, Dr. Mitchum, and we can discuss a game plan, if you will. Ms. Gigi, how are you? Love to see you in the chat. Commander Hill, good to see you in the chat, sir. Mr. Sean, good to see you in the chat. Let me get everything ready. We got a good bit of news tonight. Some of it came as a late night or a late shock to me. In the fourth quarter before we went live, I had some information thrown upon me that I just couldn't not talk about. Hey, Commander Gremlin, how are you? The legend is in the chat. Jesse, how are you? Hopefully this is the last. Let's see here. There it is. All right, hopefully this is the last edition in the vehicle. It is the Moose Mobile. We are in the Moose Mobile, otherwise known as the Gray Ghost. This will be the last time we're here. I do not like doom in the vehicle, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And I wanted to get this week's episode out. I already posted back yesterday because of personal reasons, and now I just gotta do what you gotta do, man. The show must go on. Let's see here. All right, nope. I got the announcement ready. Where is it? I can find it. Let's see here. There we go. Okay. Now back here. All right. Yeah, it's better than no episode. That's what I'm going for anyway. But happy to be here. Happy to be back. We got a good show for you guys planned, or I do. We have a topic that is going to fire everybody up because it fired me up seeing it. But first, let's get into the news. All right, so first bit of news. Please remember the monument rededication ceremony, Pleasant Hill, Louisiana, October 29th, 2022. More information will be coming out soon. Remember, history awaits you. Be there. Obviously going to be a great event. I myself am hoping to attend. I cannot wait. I wanted to start off this one with some good news. The first story is going to run very parallel to the last story for the evening. It's always good to see a monument go up, and let's just say there are worse things to happen to a monument than having to remove it, to move it somewhere else. I would love to see a monument stay where it is. I love seeing new monuments put up, but rededication ceremonies are something we should all make sure to attend and take pride in the fact that we were able to keep these monuments. They weren't destroyed, they weren't taken down, and they're still with us, and they could still be used to teach history to the next generation, and of course, to honor the men that it's made to honor. A monument is more of a tombstone, I always like to say, for the men that never made it home, and for the men that did make it home. It's there to honor them, period. And so to be there for a rededication ceremony, that is history, and it awaits you October 29th. More in the news. Let's see here. These are the parts where it gets tricky. Let's see here. Make sure. Okay. All right. Living History Walk. Let's see here. I can get all the information ready. Valor. I'll get it. 1 second. Valor Memorial Park is having a Living History Walk. The traveling Hunley exhibit will be there at the park all day, Saturday, September 3rd. First off, the Hunley exhibit, perfect. I loved it when I got to see it. I don't know much about the, well, I'm guessing it's the same thing just off the top of my head, but the Hunley, great exhibit. I highly recommend it. So if it's going to be there, you should be there. And you also can come out to see historical expositions, cannons, Revolutionary Patriots, Union Army people. Someone's got to be the bad guy people. Confederate soldier reenactors, and the General Lee car will be on site as well. So that is shaping up to be a phenomenal event. I highly recommend, if you can go to any of these events, please go. Jude, that is very important. It's important what they represent, not their location. If these places don't want to take pride in them, dagnabbit, we will. But yeah, no, go out to the, what do they call it? A Living History Walk. Make sure to go out there and you'll have a grand old time. Let's see here. Other news. Let's see here. All right. Make sure to also see the Battle of Scurum Creek in Crossville, Alabama, September 24th through the 25th. There will be infantry, mounted cavalry, dismounted cavalry, and artillery welcome. Period settlers, non-period vendors, food and entertainment, ladies' tea, and so much more. And remember, there's no reenactor registration fee for this event. Alabama does it right, people. I've heard a lot of great things. I heard that this one's going to be a phenomenal event, and you need to make sure you're going to be there. I have started to get back. Lost everything there for a minute. My whole screen went black. I started getting back into reenacting recently, and let me tell you something. That sounds like it would be a phenomenal event. I know I might not be able to get to it and stuff like that, but I know it's going to be a good event. So again, if you can make these events, please try your best to make them. Last bit for events-wise, anyway. The Middle Creek Volunteer Fire Department will have a concession booth at the Battle of Middle Creek on Friday and Saturday, September 9th and 10th. Please, they will have hot dogs, but fried bologna sandwiches, nachos and cheese or chili, water and pop, slushies, popcorn, pizza, chips, and cotton candy. Whoa, look at all this great stuff coming to this event. Remember, all proceeds will be going to buying a new rescue boat and water gear for your fire department. And we hope that you visit the booth at the battle or just stop by and grab yourself a little food and snack. That is awesome to see a fire department supporting a reenactment. I'm going to guess a campus is hosting this reenactment. I don't know if it said in my information packet I got. Pop is like soda. I meant to say soda, but I was reading the graph like I normally try to stick as much as I can to what y'all sent me. Pop is just soda, Coke, root beer, Barks, Big Red. I'm just naming off all my favorite drinks, but that's what that is. It's just soda. I know down here we call it just soda or Coke. Coke covers a variety of things. It couldn't even be a Coke product, and Coke covers it down here in Mississippi. But that's looking like to be a great event, and look how awesome it is to have a fire department show up at a reenactment. It might be a community thing, but it'd be great as a camp if you reached out to them, thank them for coming, tell them that we're happy to support you, maybe get some food from them, help try to support them. That is a great opportunity, and you should reward them for coming out and supporting us. Because again, as we'll learn by the end of this episode, not every community is very loving towards us right now. Let's see here. Next bit of news. Also, remember to share this episode, and we are now on YouTube. So share our episode. Go out and share it. Just share it everywhere. All right, next bit of news. Let's see here. All right. David Richard receives the Meritorious Service Medal from Commander George for all his efforts during the Confederate Monument fight this past year. Of course, Mr. David's on the left, Commander George is on the right. I want to say congratulations, George, for being awarded this very nice, prestigious award that we have here. That is definitely well deserved. We all need men. Oh, wrong picture. We all need people fighting for our monuments, and the stronger we do it together, folks, the better it is. And again, people, please, if you won one of these awards, if your camp member won one of these awards, please send us in a picture and tell us what he did to deserve that award. It's very good to get recognition, a good pat on the back. I know we Southern gentlemen don't like giving pats on the back normally, and you know, in this organization, it's a volunteer organization, so you go in knowing that you're not going to get thanked by everybody, and how the culture is in the world right now, you're definitely not going to be thanked by everybody. So it's good to, you know, every once in a while get some thanks, but just remember, you know, we're not in this for the awards, and I know these men know this. They're great men. That's why they got these awards. But, you know, you're doing it for your Confederate veteran, your ancestors. Roger, I'm sorry. Wait, what are you talking about? I'm so sorry, Mr. Roger. I checked. I don't know. I got the email pulled up, and so I can tell you right now. That is strange. It's not in the spam folder either. Usually, if I don't get a bit of news, it somehow got in the spam folder. But if you could, yeah, always email it. It's the best way to get it to us. You know, make sure you put in the subject box, look around our events or something to let me know that it's not spam, or it doesn't get put in the wrong folder or something like that, and I don't see it. So again, I'm so sorry for that, Mr. Roger, but it'll be on there next week, I promise. Well, actually, it won't be on there next week because next week is Commander's Comments. My apologies, but I'll post about them to make sure that the information starts getting out there, and of course, give the chat heads plenty of notice about said events. So yeah, please send that to me so I can make sure to get that out there. All right, last bit of news, and we're going to go into some topics for discussion that kind of came up recently. All right, last bit of news. Mr. Ricker was honored when at National Reunion he got to bring home 2 Distinguished Service Awards for his Lieutenant Commander, Jock Owens, on the left, and his past commander, Mr. Frank Harvey. These men have always stood firm for our cause and deserves the recognition from National with these awards. This makes 3 in Mr. Ricky's camp, the Pennsylvania Vindicators camp, that have won this award. Our camp continues to stand out in the Virginia Division. Mr. Ricky is said to be very proud in his camp and the members that are a part of it. First off, again, congrats for the awards. You guys are some of the Mr. Ricky's, first off, and his whole camp are one of the standout people in Virginia that we always get something from. They're always doing something. I have no doubt that these gentlemen deserve this award. From the bottom of my heart, I know they deserve it because they do so much in Virginia and the surrounding areas. I mean, that camp travels a lot. And so I want to congratulate you men, and I hope that y'all continue fighting for the cause as hard as you fight, and we need men like you right now. So, again, congrats, and keep fighting. All right. Now that the sun's going down, I can kind of purpose my computer here. Let's see here. We're trying. We're trying. All right. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will get back to the news when we return. Let's see here. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. We still got some people jumping in. Remember to share this episode, people. Oh, I almost forgot, actually. Let me grab this real quick. We have an announcement from Commander Jimmy Hill about the museum, how you can help out in the museum. This is big. This will help the museum, of course. And if we can help the museum, we need to. What this is we're getting extra information for the people entering the museum. For example, let me post everything. I am writing the one on Beauvoir. I already had a lot of information gathered from my own book I'm writing. And so I had Beauvoir information already available from Beauvoir itself. And I had their permission to write this for the museum. And so I started writing it. I'm almost finished, Commander Hill. I'll send it to you soon. But what this is say a kid is visiting our museum. And, Beauvoir is not going to have a whole lot. I mean, we're covering a whole lot of history, not just those 5 years, but Southern history in general. We have to defend our whole history now, folks. That's how bad this war's gotten. But, it will probably have like a small subject on Beauvoir and President Davis and how it's his last home and how he spent his last years there. And, and it'll probably just say something like after the war, President Davis retired and wrote his memoirs, his books at Beauvoir. I'm just guessing. I haven't talked to Commander Hill or anything. And then there will be a QR code underneath it. And you can scan that QR code. And if you're interested about Beauvoir, say Beauvoir just for some reason caught your eye. And you can scan that QR code and you will have this whole set of new information about Beauvoir to read more into it, to discover real history, to teach real history. And again, that's what our museum's all about, folks. It is going to be one of the greatest monuments to our Confederate ancestors. It is going to tell their history. We're going to defend the Confederate soldiers' good name, and at the end of the day, that's what we're about. So again, if you see any of these topics that jump out at you, that you have information on, that you know and you feel like you can write, and do a good job, please send it in. Please write it. Please get in contact with Army of Tennessee Commander Jimmy Hill and get this information out there. I know he's in the chat. I saw him a bit ago, so if he has anything he wants to say on this topic, please, Commander Hill, feel free to jump in. And so I guess without further ado, I think that's all the news other than the topics I wanted to discuss tonight. Please remember our sponsor for our commercial break, Larry McClooney Jr.'s, our past Commander-in-Chief, book, In Defense of General Beauregard. Great book. I've talked about it on the show a lot. We have a whole episode dedicated to it. It is a great book. General Beauregard, as many of you know, has gotten a lot of flack over the past couple of, well, not couple, but about 100 years. And people just tarnished his legacy, or tried to. And so what our past Commander-in-Chief did is he wrote a book solely to defend General Beauregard and show everybody just how good of a general this man was, a good Southerner and a patriot for the cause. It reads like a court case. It is defending General Beauregard, of course, the title, and it is a phenomenal book. He has other phenomenal books on Vicksburg and the Yazoo Pass, if I'm not mistaken, off the top of my head. So if you want to go support him, these are all great books, all done by our past Commander-in-Chief too. So that's awesome. He knows his history. He knows what he's talking about in these books. You're going to, and like, it's true history. And how hard is it to find those books these days? So you can go down there to www.larrymcclooney.com and get your book today. All right, without further ado, we will get ready for our commercial break. And please remember, the videos for our Pop Talk breaks are sponsored by the Confederate Legion. You can join the Confederate Legion at www.makedixieGreatAgain.com or .org. And I will see you guys after the commercial break.
There is a place nestled in the rolling farmland of southern Middle Tennessee. A home constructed in 1837, nearly lost to the ravages of war. Saved by a servant and a Confederate general. A place where families loved and lost. If walls could talk, what stories could be told? If a place, a home, can feel love, loss, pain, surely this is one of those places. Nearby is a more recent structure, and inside are the stories of heroes and heroines, stories of battles won and lost, stories of sacrifices made by the people of its native soil. A place that will tell the true and complete story of the Southland and the war fought for its freedom. From the causes that led to the conflict to the modern-day struggles to protect Southern history. Historic Elm Springs and the Confederate Museum at Elm Springs are the general headquarters for the Sons of Confederate Veterans. A place where the story of the Southland and its historic struggle is preserved and told. Come and discover your history.
Before we get started back at the news, if you have a critique on my performance on the show, private message me on my SCV page or private message the chat page. No need to publicly post something like that. It looks bad on the page, and it's against one of the chat rules, which I just posted in the chat. I did not come up with these rules, but as the producer of the show, I do enforce them usually. So please remember that, just going forward. I have no problem with critiques. I'm 23 years old. We might have been doing this for almost 2 years now, but it's still, I didn't start taking over for this stuff maybe for a year now. And so I understand I'm going to be a little rusty and, of course, not great at everything. So please just do it like that. I have no problem taking criticism. I've taken a lot of criticism. Jimmy Hill wanted to say a lot of those topics from the original list have been taken. He will put together a new list, and he'll post it soon, and he'll probably send it to us soon, and we'll update our list so you guys can make sure to pick something someone else hasn't already got. Without further ado, going to get into a couple of topics that I saw tonight. One I saw a couple days ago when I was just on Facebook. The other one I saw legit a couple minutes before the show started. And I scrambled to get as much information as possible, make sure I had the story right. And I believe I do, so we're going to hope for the best. Let's see here. All right, so first story, if you follow my SCV page, speaking of, I'm pretty sure someone reposted on the chat page, you'll know I threw up a ruckus at the beginning of the week on a Mr. Robert Lee, no connection to General Robert E. Lee, an ESPN story that took place 5 years ago. Why am I bringing this up if it's 5 years ago? Well, first off, I feel like it just needed to be addressed. At the time, the show didn't look like it was going to have too much news. It was a slow news week. So I thought that it would, serve a purpose, and we could talk about it for a bit. I want to hear y'all's thoughts. Let me go ahead and put this up there. So let me pull up the picture, and I'll read it to you, and we can get started. So 5 years ago today, ESPN removed announcer Robert Lee from calling Virginia college football games to ensure no one would accidentally confuse him with the Confederate general, and of course not to offend anybody. As you can tell, Mr. Robert Lee has no connection probably to General Robert E. Lee. Lee was just happened to be his last name, and his parents decided to name him Robert. And for that, he was punished, and his career suffered for it. I have not found any news that he was fired. It does set a bad precedent. And that's what I will get into in a minute, Christian. Which thank you again, Christian, for your comments. I love seeing you, Christian. Also, what time is a CG chat coming on this week? I went blank there for a minute. Make sure to post it, and I'll tell everybody. But it sets a very dangerous precedent. But at the end of the day, he had no control over that. His last name was Lee, and his parents named him Robert. And again, from what I could tell, he wasn't fired, but he was heavily penalized just because of his name being somewhat connected to Southern culture. It baffled me when I saw this, and it also baffled me that I didn't hear about this 5 years ago. Just crazy, stupid. ESPN actually caught a whole lot of flack for it, and I didn't even realize it until I was researching this article. That people were like, this is just stupid. Even people that don't like our calls, even our enemies are telling ESPN this was stupid. That's how bad this was. And you just sit there and you're like, why? There's nothing to say on that. Again, you're taking a man, you're punishing him. From what I've seen, he hasn't called a Virginia college football game since. I have not gotten any news about his career. I'm pretty sure this probably shot it dead for the most part. I don't know how good this man was at his announcing position. I haven't, but I haven't been able to find any more out on him. I do know he is still employed by ESPN, but I don't know. Like, sources say what I was able to find online. Again, 50-50 if that's correct or not. He's still an announcer. But obviously he's not going to do anything in his home state of Virginia anymore, which is sad. Everybody loves football, especially if it's from your home state. Dr. Mitchum usually does hit the nail on the coffin. These are depths of ignorance we have not begun to even explore. Oh, that is so true, Dr. Mitchum. I just, when I saw it, if you saw my original post, I got so fired up that, I didn't even completely read the thing. I did some research, and I was like, oh, crap, this happened 5 years ago. Let me backtrack a little bit. But, it's stupid. I mean, and Christian Lee brought this point up. What if a person's name is Dixie? What if a person's name is Jackson? Bo, short for Beauregard. Forrest. I mean, it's setting a dangerous precedent that if your name is similar to these Confederate icons and heroes, I'll say it like that. I don't like how they said it. You will be punished. I joked on the page a while ago. I'm a young man, so this date's far off. But I joked during reunion that I'll name one of my kids Robert Lee or something like that, or Forrest after General Forrest. I mean, are my kids going to be penalized for that? Again, a lot of things what cancel culture does is it does stuff like this. It's very unpredictable, And again, he didn't even get canceled for it, per se. ESPN, just because of their fear of cancel culture, did this. So this wasn't even cancel culture. This was the fear of cancel culture. So, it's a very sad thing. If the fear of cancel culture can make someone do this, what will the actual thing do? I know this was 5 years ago. We've seen far worse nowadays, but it still begs the question. And it should be a battle cry. It should be pushing you into wanting to get involved and do this, and get involved in the SCV, get involved in defending your Confederate ancestors' heritage, history, and how they're even looked upon in today's world, to defend their good name. Why? Because sooner or later, it's going to backfire. And or not sooner or later. Sooner or later, it's going to get too much, and there's no telling what the world will go to. Jeff Davis, insert last name. Jeff Davis is a nice name. His latest coverage, local. So he's still employed by ESPN. He just had a Sunday off. This was in February. That's the last time this man was in the news. Thank you, Christian Lee. I'll look into that. I don't know if I'll talk about it anymore on the show, take up time. But I wanted to kind of throw that out there as, even though this was 5 years ago, there's not much you can do about it now. That was reflex. I saw something fall on my windshield, so I went to knock it off. But it's just something to think about, I guess, is the reason I kind of wanted to bring it up, because if this can happen 5 years ago and it's only getting worse now, sooner or later, it's going to get bad. I've had Christian Lee has had people suggest that he change his last name. Wow, just because it's Lee? That is, that's awful. Again, that's where we're getting to. You can't even be, like, these names will be written off the record. And again, that's how much our enemies hate us. That's how much they hate our heroes, our ancestors, these men that went out and fought a war for what they believed in. That's how much they hate them. It hurts my head. Yeah, the Dukes of Hazzard boss hog, Corey, his full name was Jefferson Davis Hogg. Bo Duke's full name was Beauregard Duke. I don't think Luke had any connection. I'm trying to think if anybody else did. I don't think so. Beauregard. Boss Hogg's twin was named Abraham Lincoln Hogg, I think. Which, that's an awful name. Corey, I don't blame you. I will, when that time comes, I will definitely be looking at Confederate names to name my child. That day is very far off, so it is very far off. Damn. All right, next bit of news and kind of some serious one. I will like to remind everybody to please send your pictures, short videos, and write-ups about Confederate news, like this, like stuff your camp's doing. Show me how active you are in your camp. Show me what y'all are doing. Show me what your division's doing, brigade, your army. I mean, and just any Confederate news, because as this next thing goes in, this has, like, I don't think I've seen any camp do anything about it yet. I could be very much wrong. This is a very quick developing issue, but I'm putting it on there because it has something to do with Confederate news. A camp didn't send it in or anything like that, but I wanted to talk about it. Charles Ray came in to tell everybody that, he He just had a nice dinner. Councilman, that's just evil. I'm hurt by this. We have restruck. Oh, Monuments Across Dixie have new monuments up. Our new monuments ready to be put up. So, if you're interested in raising a new monument, please contact Monuments Across Dixie. And also, we just broke. The Alamo City Guards Camp doing great things. Christian Lee, contact me at some point this upcoming week. I want to talk to you about being on the show to talk about this more. I've had a brain fart this week. John Singleton, taking a habit. Jason, you got me with that. They just broke $4,500 towards their Tejano Confederate statue. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that is awesome. So I want to get y'all on here to talk about that. I hope, I will beg, I will hitchhike to make sure I'm there for when that monument comes up, because it is going to be a beautiful monument, no doubt. And also, its historic significance. And Christian Lee, I'll save the rest of that for you for when you come on to talk about that. But yeah, no, Monuments Across Dixie, I might invite y'all on. I've been needing to invite y'all on to talk about it. I've been kind of flooded this week and haven't had the chance to contact anybody. But again, good thing to put new monuments up, especially after you hear the next story. It's going to get some of y'all fired up, because it got me fired up, because there's one thing I hate in this world, and that's seeing the disrespect of a Confederate monument. It being written on with racial or foul language, insulting language, or even worse than that, it being torn down. Whew. All right. This is the news that I've been putting off because I knew it's going to fire me up. It makes me mad just thinking about it. I could feel my blood boiling. In Enfield, North Carolina, the mayor used his own money to tear down a Confederate monument. This is the monument. This is one side. Let me take this off so you can see it a bit better. And here is the other side. And of course, you can see the battle flag. It is not just a Confederate monument. I believe it is a World War I. And I got some more information on it. Let me pull it up. Let's see here. I know it is a World War I monument. I think, of course, a Confederate monument, and I think one more monument. Let me see. Let's see here. If I can zoom in on the picture on my phone. It should be. It's also a World War II monument as well. A Korean conflict monument, a Vietnam War monument. Let's see if I can find anything else. A Gulf War monument. So this is a monument this town got together, and in 28, they put this monument up, and over the years they've added wars to it as remembrance. Corey, it depends on what state you're in. Mississippi, it's very illegal to do this. I'm going to guess from North Carolina that it's very illegal to do this, hence why he is being investigated right now. Yes, it looks like we got to put up a new monument in Enfield. Thank you, Charles Ray. This happened. Let's see here. At the beginning of the week, so information's kind of scarce right now. I will try my best to remember to continue to report on this news. Hopefully, this mayor gets what's coming to him for doing this dishonor. He live streamed that. Okay, all right. That's what got me too. He live streamed it on his Facebook page. Live streamed it. The disrespect to not even do it in the dark. most monuments are desecrated at night because that's, I think even the Bible says, it's just when, the shred of darkness is when evil happens. Or it's not said just like that. I'm kind of drawing a blank on the actual verse. If you remember the verse, please help me out. But they did it at night, but they also live streamed it. He made it. When you live stream something on a political page, it's automatically part of your platform. With him doing that, he made that a part of himself. He made that a part of what he does in office. That is what he stands for. That's what he wants to go down in history for. Impeachment would be better for this man. I highly doubt he will be impeached, though. North Carolina law enforcement is investigating him to see if a crime is committed. The SBI, the State Bureau of Investigation, is looking into it, as well as, I'm going to say, probably local police. I would hope to even say federal. This needs to be taken care of. I have pictures of the monument I will show in a minute. It is just a sad thing. Again, like, this isn't just a Confederate monument either. It's all World War I, World War II, Korea, Gulf War. I mean, this monument represented that community's young men that went off to fight wars and died and never made it back. This monument was for them. Either if they made it back or they didn't. This monument was for them. And he destroyed it with a bulldozer without any hesitation. Live streamed it too. So to prove that he doesn't give a crap. It's broken, laying on the ground. Monuments. It is. I don't have that picture, I do believe. Let me show you some pictures. Yes, I do have that picture. So, like, here's some screenshots during the live stream. That is a bulldozer. That is them toppling it down. That is the World War II part and Gulf War monument part being broken. And that is how it looks right now. As you can tell, the police have gotten involved. It is cornered off, being investigated. And please note, this is right by a park. Yeah, it keeps getting worse. It is completely destroyed. Let's see here. The mayor's name was Mayor Mondale Robertson. It has stood in this park since 1928. He's newly elected, so he just got into office, and this is one of the first things he did. It might be a cemetery back there, Christian Lee, but I do know it's in a park. It's in a park. So, let's see here. This monument was erected. The monument in the middle was erected by the United Daughters of the Confederacy, honoring those from the Confederate War and those from World War I. In later years, there were additions added to the monuments to include World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, and the Gulf War. And, of course, they made it a race thing. As someone brought up, the town is 85% African American. And so they felt like since their kids play in this park, they'll never wonder why a Confederate flag has to fly in this park ever again. I don't see even a Confederate flag. It is a American and Confederate monument. There is a Confederate flag on it, but also an American flag. I don't see what the problem is. Monuments Across Dixie says they are willing to try to recreate the monument if someone has enough pictures. There should be enough pictures out there. Yeah, this is not just, Jason, I agree with you. It's gross. It is upsetting. It is putting fire in my heart right now. For those who don't know, I might seem like I don't get angry pretty easy. I do, and this is one of the things that steps on my buttons the worst. I cannot explain the level of hatred and fire that this brings into me. It's very hard sometimes to make sure that I stay on topic and not just start going rambling on this. But it's very extremely disrespectful to all the veterans that this monument was supporting. Again, it wasn't just a Confederate monument. The mayor's mother has even gotten interviewed and said that she agreed with her son and that he did nothing wrong. Look, here's the deal. What was it? Let's see here. It was voted to be taken down. Let's see here. Let's see. A lot of people have disagreed with how how it was handled. Some Eastern Californian residents did disagree with it, but they didn't want to be interviewed. Now, again, the county, I think, did vote to take this down and put it up somewhere, relocate it. But there's the key word. They voted to take it down and more than likely relocate it. I'll have to go back and look at it. Yeah, no, I guess that was a motherly support. She goes on to say some other things that we won't go into on the show. That's a topic for Carl. I'll throw him under the bus. He's a lot more educated on these topics than I am. But it fires me up. It makes me mad. It's just extremely disrespectful. And again, yes, the councilmen or the governing body of the county did vote to take it down. There's only 2 objections. But again, taking down and destroying are 2 different things. And for him to just again, that night that they voted on it, he went out there, rented himself a bulldozer, tore it down, and live streamed it on his Facebook. He didn't even make the city pay for it. That's what I didn't want the city to have to pay for it to be moved. That's dangerous thinking. That's very dangerous thinking. And that's very dangerous thinking for our enemies. Because when you have stuff like this start happening, chaos will soon follow. Because if the county wants to move it, it's your job to move it. You're forcing that on the taxpayers. That's that's part of it. Well, we wanted to bring this news out there. Anytime news like this gets out there, please bring it to our attention. The quicker we get it out there, the more things we can get done about this. Stuff like this. That is why Look Around is why we thought about it. It wasn't just to talk about, and the main point of the show is to talk about camp and division news, but also stuff like this. New mainstream news will not talk about stuff like this. They will not defend it. They will not tell you what needs to be done. They will not do anything. They'll sit on this story and they'll never talk about it. Hence why SCV Chat's here. As one of the main reasons we wanted to come up with this. Look Around and Monday show. This is very important to us. And we will not stop this fight, and we will let you know when these horrors of injustice to our veterans when they come around. If you don't want to pay for it to move it, you just don't move it. Or contact the SCV. Tell us about it. We can't pay for it, but we'll be like, okay, we'll do this. We'll take care of it. We'll take it off your shoulders. You can just put all the blame on us. But to destroy it, look, that is the ultimate level of disrespect for a monument. If you put it up in stores, there's a chance that one day it'll see the light of day. If you move it, we can put it somewhere back up somewhere, or we can put up a new monument. But to tear it down, and it to be done by an elected official, to be done the night of, to not even give anybody the chance to protest this peacefully, to contact them, to even offer to be like, you can move it to my property, but destroy it. That's what that mayor did. And I got a picture of the mayor. We'll probably bring him back up later. That's the mayor. Change is coming, he says. I will have to talk about, let me put this picture down. I thought I took it down. I will have to think about the next course of action on how I want to address this, because we can't stoop down to our enemies' levels, but with something like this, it's very hard not to, I'll admit. But if we start acting like them, then we've already lost. It's just very hard to think of what's next. But we will come up with something. We will get his email or something like that and ask that you respectfully tell him and the city that they must pay for a new monument and put it up somewhere else. Give it to the SCV. If there's any SCV camp around there, or if you're thinking about starting an SCV camp around there, please, this needs to be taken care of. It is. Whew, we need to get it. Okay, yeah, monument. They put it a lot better than I'm trying to. If anyone lives there or is close there, please contact them. We need to get to work. They need to raise a new monument in that town. It may take years. See, monuments can't be done overnight, people. That's something we all have to realize. It's something I've had to realize, because sometimes I get impatient. But especially putting up a new one, it takes time. So again, people, if anybody is there, please contact us here at SCV Chat or Monuments Cross Dixie. We will try to work on something. We will try to get you in contact with people that can help you, like Monuments Cross Dixie. They're a great organization that are fighting for the cause of monuments. They have great work too, and so you know you're getting a good bit of money, good bang for your buck. It's going to take a bit to vote him out. I'm really hoping for some reason he gets arrested for it as destruction of property, as he should not be able to do that. If they say he's able to do that, that's a whole other can of worms we're going to have to deal with. Christian Lee, me and you have talked about this before on the show, but the bicentennial is coming up in 2061. I hope to make it to it. I'll be 62 years old when that happens. Ooh. But I think me and Christian Lee talked about it. At that point, we would love to see that the South is back to being the heritage-loving, proud of its Southern history, its Southern heroes again. And see all these monuments that have been taken down, doubled, tripled. For every monument that goes down, there needs to be 2 more that come back up in its place. It's a very hard task. It's very hard to make monuments like they did back in the day. Those beautiful sculptures. But, just because it's hard doesn't mean it's impossible. So, we got to keep fighting. I will stay in touch with the news on this situation as much as I can, and update y'all as it continues. I'm hoping to have good news soon on it. I'm getting speechless now. I'm getting angry. I'm getting a headache. I can feel it. But we can't let them win. Do not stoop down to their level. Let's fight hard to get a new monument up in that town. And every town that is disrespected and torn down a monument needs them back up. And maybe not in the exact town, maybe not in the exact place, because they don't deserve it. But a monument needs to be up somewhere around that area to honor the men that lost their lives in that area. Well, without further ado, I guess it is time to call it. He said, I'll be 103. I'm a long shot. I think you'll be there, sir. I will. I'll save you a seat because I hope to be active in the SCV still. I hope that the good Lord blesses me with a long life and I could be honored to attend these events and do something, be a part of it. Maybe even put up a new Confederate monument in my hometown. But without further ado, I will be planning on something good for Monday. I'll get up with GCB about that. Thursday will be our next episode of Commander's Comments, starring our CIC and Chief of Heritage Operations. It will carry you. We'll get you a great seat, dude. If you're 103 and you make it, man, we'll have you right up in front. Thank you, David. I'm sorry this kind of conflicted with your show. Again, personal problems yesterday. I couldn't do it yesterday. I was also hoping, my Wi-Fi, but Wi-Fi will be available again soon. But without further ado, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Please share this episode. Get this news out. Let's not let them bury this news about this monument. Let's get it done. We can win. We can rise above what all they throw at us. We can be Southern gentlemen, Southern ladies. We can do it our way. We don't have to stoop to their level, but we can do it. There's a way. We will do it. We will win, and we'll make sure to make our ancestors proud. So please remember to share this episode. Make sure to tune in Saturday evening and Sunday morning. Ooh, Christian, what are you doing to me, man? For the Alamo City Guards chat. They're knocking me out of the park. I'll bring Christian on soon. We'll talk about that and his monument that his camp is doing. Just a little update for our new spinoff. It has been doing great numbers, and so I'm happy for y'all. So make sure to tune in for that if you can. And if not, well, we'll see you Monday, 7 o'clock, same Confederate time, same Confederate channel. Make sure to share this episode. Maybe tell some people that, there's a monument talking here towards the end. But make sure they watch all the news because there's a lot of great events that people need to know about. Please remember, send your pictures, short videos, and write-ups to scvyouthoutreach@gmail.com. You'll be featured on the upcoming episode of Look Around the Confederation. If you have a Camper Division project you would like to talk about live, on air, on the show, please email us at scvyouthoutreach@gmail.com. And we will try to set down a date for you to be on the show. And I guess without further ado, I don't have anything else to say. I don't think there's any other news. Only any other SCV news, or SCV chat news. So thank everybody for tuning in. No Fumar in the elevator. And stay Southern, my friends. Good night.